Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and today I'm going to be talking about these blendable markers that I got from Five Below. I don't have the original wrapper for them, but I will try to find an image of what the box looks like with the paper. But these are from Five Below. I believe they were $5.55 and they come in this black tin case. So it's fairly fancy. I have a setup for $5 markers. And then here is what they look like. They are by the brand Art Concepts. And they are shaped like a brush tip, but they are firm like a bullet nib. So it's pretty interesting. The whole appeal of these markers is that they are supposed to be easy to blend. Typically, alcohol-based markers are notorious for being easy to blend, but these markers do not smell like alcohol. They smell like water-based markers. Maybe they have some alcohol mixed in them, but it would be very diluted because they don't have that iconic smell. So I believe that there are 12 colors. 10, 12. So there's actually 14 colors and then 2 white colors. So these are supposed to be the blending pens, like the magic pens that blend the colors together. So I gotta say, like, first impressions of them is this is a pretty difficult color palette to work with, especially with the type of art that I make, which is primarily anime characters. Yes, anime characters do have bright colored hair sometimes and bright colored clothes and stuff, but I mean, I guess this would be my skin tone for my pale characters, but like there's not a good pink for blushes. This is more of like a hair color, and I mean, I guess this could maybe be good for landscapes or just generalized coloring in a coloring book, but I do feel like the colors are a little too bright and out there to really be good for blending, like for their intended purpose, because normally you have the dark color, the mid color, and the light color that are all in the same color family. So like, I mean, we have a light blue and a dark blue, we have a light purple and a dark purple, light green and dark green, and like I see what they're trying to do, but there's no mid-tone. And then some of them are so drastically different that I really just don't think that they're gonna blend very well. Like I really don't think that's gonna blend very well. That one might, but I doubt it, and I feel like this one definitely will not. So enough rambling about that. We are going to do these swatches first. Also, they do have little like hooks on them, which I think is kind of funny because like I don't really imagine anybody would just be carrying around one of them, since the whole point of them is to blend them, so you need more than one. But I do find that interesting. So here are the swatches. Again, it's really giving Crayola marker color scheme. Not really a very professional set of colors, I would say, considering that they are labeled as like professional blendable markers. You know, I feel like they're clearly not. Also, some of them are already kind of lacking in ink. They're kind of dry. And with markers, especially if you're planning on blending them, the amount of like pigment and ink that is in the marker that makes them like juicy is very, very important, because if you have a dry marker, it's going to be a lot more streaky and it is going to be a lot harder to blend and just work with in general. So the darker colors are a lot more saturated and have more ink in them than some of the other colors. And I have not used these. I think I may have swatched them once in my sketchbook, but I have not used them on an actual full piece, so they are not dry from use. They're coming out of the box pretty much dry, which isn't a good sign really. So I'm gonna switch my paper because that type of paper is more for just drier mediums. So I'm switching to Bristol board to test out the blendability of the markers, because Bristol is more smooth and it's easier to use markers on. So I'm going to start off with trying to blend the light blue with the dark blue and see if they actually blend. I do gotta say this blue is a lot darker in person, like on the paper, than it looks on the marker. So yeah, there is no blending to be had with this. Just laying it down like this, which I know that there is a magical marker that's supposed to make them blend, but just laying them down like this, they are not blending at all. Like, they are two completely separate colors that are too drastic of a difference for them to blend. So on paper, I feel like the light blue could kind of be labeled more as a mid-tone, but even still, the regular blue is way too dark to blend into this blue on its own. So now I'm going to try the magic white pen and see if that does something. Wow. It somehow made it look worse. So I don't know if this is like just water in here, or if this is some kind of colorless blender, or what this white marker is supposed to be, but it literally just makes the pigment grainy and even more uneven than what it was before. Like, using them on their own, they lay pretty flat, but with this white pen, it just completely ruins it and it makes it look awful. And it didn't even blend it. It just made the area where the colors meet a little bit whiter and paler, but it didn't blend anything. It just made it less saturated. It kind of like erased it. But this is supposed to be a blending set, kind of like the Crayola ones that came out several years ago at this point. And I remember that they were the same gimmick. They came inside of the 10 box, and they had like 12 markers, and they had the blending marker, and they were like $20, so pretty expensive for Crayola especially, and they were garbage as well. I never owned any of them, but I did watch videos on them because at that age I was really, really intrigued by alcohol-based markers, but they were extremely hard to find near me, and I'd have to order them offline, and they were extremely expensive to order at that point in time. So I was hoping that the Crayola ones would be good, or just as good, so then I could get them, but no, they weren't even worth buying, so I never even purchased them. So I'm going to try and match up all the other colors and see if any of them blend together. The purples kind of blend. They kind of blend a little bit better. Let me try the feathering technique. I don't even know if I'm doing it right. I feel like the purples blend better than the blues did. Again, I feel like the greens are too different to really blend very nicely. So I don't really think the green is very successful. Like, it doesn't look bad, but the purple is definitely way better. This yellow is very fluorescent. Oh. These ones are not blending at all. Like, there's no blending at all for these. Like, they are way too drastic of a color. Red and pink, which I really don't think is going to blend very well. Yeah, just like I expected, they do not blend at all. Like, there is no blending there at all. And I do notice that when the two colors interact, it tends to lighten where they meet, which I think is interesting. but that's not blending. Lightening it does not make it blend. And the layering I'm going to test in a second, but considering how they interact with each other, I don't have high hopes for layering. But the last two that I'm going to blend is I don't know why I'm showing you the nibs, you can't tell the colors, is the oranges. They kind of blend, kind of, but these ones are very dry for some reason. So I don't really know what's up with that. Now I'm going to try layering them. So I'm going to use this light blue. That's the first layer. It looks darker on camera than what it is in real life, but it's still fairly dark compared to the cap. The colors do get darker as you layer them on top. So you can build up the color, but I do see some granulation in the paper where it's kind of like eating at the paper. Like I can see that being a problem, but overall I do feel like they at least layer okay on top of each, like on top of itself. I layer a different color on top of it, then that's fine because this color is darker than this color. And I don't see any of the weird granulation with these blues. So that's kind of interesting. Some of the colors just don't interact very well with each other. Like the pink and the red didn't really react with each other very well. But all the other ones didn't really have a reaction. They just don't blend very well. I think the purple is probably the best one. And then the orange is probably second best. So my final thoughts on these markers as to whether or not I feel like they're worth the $5.55 that they cost. Honestly, I feel like you can buy much better marker sets at Five Below for the same price. You can buy actual alcohol-based markers that will blend and will layer and will work how these are advertised to work for the same price as these. So I would suggest those over these. I just think that the color range isn't very good. They don't blend, they don't really layer, they don't do what they are advertised to do. So I really can't justify purchasing them. I think that they would be fine for like a coloring book because they're by no means professional in my opinion. So I mean, they would be good for a coloring book. They will eat up the paper. I can definitely tell that they are water-based with the way how they tear up the paper and they have the granulation and it's just kind of icky, whereas compared to alcohol-based markers, they typically are just a little bit more gentle on the paper as far as eating it up goes, but they will seep through. These also seep through quite a bit, but only the ones that have a lot of ink and that are juicy. But the oranges were pretty dry, so they were kind of doomed from the beginning. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was fun and interesting. I enjoyed making it. Normally I have good experiences when testing out art supplies, but these were just something that really wasn't worth the money. Even though it's only $5, I do feel like there are way better things that you can purchase from Five Below for $5. But if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. Please consider liking and subscribing for more art and collection content, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!